many women talking about it. Is you're being used again like Chuck E. Cheese, your mascot. That's what you're doing. And I understand that people might not like the way that I talk about this because I literally just say it. I literally try to say it as bluntly and as evidently as possible. What about Fuda? That's not weird, right? If you go and you are doing that in a public space, you should expect other people to ask you to leave that public space. You should expect them to ask you to leave. It's just the way it is. People like that as social accessories, I think.
Yeah.
A lot of the women that...
By the way, I'm available to be used as a social accessory if anyone wants to do so.
Now, I like that. Okay, all right, now we're talking. Okay, good.
Love the attention, love the kindness. All these people reacting, I don't care what they're saying.
Okay.
It doesn't matter to me. I love the attention.
I hope so. But here's the thing. Yeah, just admit it. That's fine. I have no problem with that. You do whatever the hell you want. But I'm just saying I'm not wrong. And that's it. Yeah, I respect it. Yeah, I can respect that for sure. And at least it's a tool getting used, I guess, right? I don't know. And yeah, that's totally fine. I don't even have anything against it. But like, you can't take a, like a thing like drag. You can't put it in a public space and then expect everybody to accept it. Also, it's not like the world has an obligation to accept that you like drag. The world doesn't have an obligation to be open and welcoming to whatever you want to do with your life and your sexual, perversions, opinions, or whatever however you want to express yourself. Just because you choose to express yourself in a certain way doesn't mean that everybody else in the world has to accept it. Like, there's a lot of ways that I express myself in that a lot of people really don't like. I hear that all the time. They don't like it. Yeah, the world doesn't owe you anything. So the fact is that, and this is the same with anything else, right? I mean, no, it doesn't mean that people shouldn't be able to be respectful to you, but whenever you want to position yourself, and there's a big difference between tolerance and acceptance. You should expect people to tolerate things. You should not expect them to accept them. Some people will simply not like what you're doing. They will not agree with the way that you're behaving. They won't like it at all. The world tolerates you, and it should stay that way. But telling them that they have to accept you, now you're mandating an opinion. That's too much. I'm not reading off a script either. I'm not. I'm an asshole like this right off the top of my head. So yeah, and that's it. I do not accept you. Exactly. And why can't they accept our opinion? I guess so. I don't know. Okay, well said. Yeah. I don't know why somebody would say that, but that's the way it is. XQC reacts to Nina Lynn's stream collab. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, true. Actually, it would be a show no sign of reform or improvement on a particular topic, but she doubled, tripled down, and underplayed, even mocked the events that happened multiple times. How has this person changed, bro? Milking the spotlight? I don't think he's even milking the spotlight. If Ray wants to collab with Nina, it's up to him, right? It's his own fucking thing. But he should have never been able to because she should have gotten banned. Like, it's embarrassing that didn't happen. Oh, here we go.
All right, AJ, Mystery Fashion is who I'm here with, and where you from?
Yeah, I'm from Shy.
Okay. What's a fashion trend you regret participating in?
Life.
All right, AJ, Mystery Fashion.
That's my boy, man. Like, oh my God, I love him. Oh, I love him. He is the guy, isn't he? Man. True, yeah, that's a good one, isn't it? I like that. And where the fuck did it go? And I'll see if I find a few more of these comments. There's nothing else. Oh, this is the Israel thing. I already saw that before. So this was crazy. This was nuts. So she goes out and she puts out a video. We're going to watch the video. You guys ready to see this? So she's dropping out of the Senate race. And here's what I think is kind of funny about it. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Where the fuck did it go? Damn, where the fuck is this? And, oh my God. I got to find it here. No, that's not it. Here it is. All right, we got it. We're ready. Someone got to her 100%. So she, for the longest time, was like a super, like, big Trump person. She would wear, like, a Trump hat in Congress, shit like this. Like, she was, you know, she was a big fan of Trump. And she deviated from the acceptable line of thought. Naturally, now she's a traitor. Here's what I think is kind of funny. So, you're resigning on January 5th, 2026, a whopping 5 years and 2 days after being sworn in. This happens to be the bare minimum to lock in the taxpayer-funded congressional pension for life. Resigning 2 days after her congressional pension vests. Very convenient. Let's watch the video. Bag secured? It seems that way. Here we go.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
I've always represented the common American man and woman as a member of the House of Representatives, which is why I've always been despised in Washington, D.C.
Yes.
And just never fit in.
Right.
Americans are used by the political industrial complex of both political parties, election cycle after election cycle, in order to elect whichever side can convince Americans to hate the other side more.
No, this is what happens, is that I'm going to explain how that works. So basically, you're going to have, let's go like this, right? And we'll make it a little bit bigger. All right, so we'll go like this, and then we'll go like this. Okay, and so the graph here is called quality of life, okay? And here's what happens, is that you start with a Democrat, and things get worse. And so you hope that you can vote for a Republican, and then things will get better. But then they don't, so they get worse. And then you think, okay, well, we're going to vote for a Democrat because the Republican didn't make things better. And then they get worse. And then you think, well, this Democrat didn't fucking do anything. All right, well, we're going to vote for a Republican this time. Then things will get better. But then they get worse. And then so now you have a Republican, so you think to yourself, okay, well, you know what we need to do? We need to get a real Democrat in here like we used to have all the way back up here. And then if we do that, now things will get better. And so they vote for a Democrat, and then things get worse. And so then after that, they think, all right, well, listen, we've had Democrats a long time, but does anybody remember the good old days of Reagan or George Bush? Well, you know what we need to do? We need to vote for a Republican. So then they vote for a Republican, and then things get worse. This is it. This is welcome to the last 50 years. This is it. That's what happens. That's the reason why it ping-pongs back and forth behind the different parties. Because neither one of them deliver on their promises, neither one of them improve the quality of life, and they all are basically surviving on ping-ponging nostalgia from the previous president that they mistakenly believe was actually trying to help them, but at the time, the previous president made it worse themselves. So that's it. That's what's happened.
And the results are always the same. No matter which way the political pendulum swings, Republican or Democrat, nothing ever gets better for the common American man or woman.
No, they don't.
The debt goes higher, corporate and global interests.
Oh, and by the way, every graph supports what I'm saying. All of the graphs agree with me.
Remain Washington's sweethearts. American jobs continue to be replaced, whether it's by illegal labor or legal labor by visas, or just shipped overseas.
Yep, she's right.
Small businesses continue to be swallowed by big corporations. Americans' hard-earned tax dollars always fund foreign wars, foreign aid, and foreign interest. And the spending power of the dollar continues to decline.
That's right.
The average American family can no longer survive on a single breadwinner's income.
Well, this has been the case for 40 years.
As both parents have to work in order to simply survive.
Exactly.
And today, many in my children's generation feel hopeless for their future and don't think they will ever realize the American dream.
It's because they won't, because you got to be asleep. That's the reason why. There are some people that will be successful, But the reality is that that number is getting smaller, and the barrier to entry for a life of dignity is becoming higher every single year. It will become harder and harder to live a life of dignity. It's harder now than it was 10 years ago. It was harder 10 years ago than it was 20 years ago. And 10 years from now, it will be even harder than it is today.
And that breaks my heart.
That's the way it is.
I ran for Congress in 2020 and have fought every single day believing that Make America Great Again meant America first. I have one of the most conservative...
Why would you think that if Trump has never said anything negative about Israel? And if you can think of one negative thing that Trump said about Israel, you can find 50 other positive things that he said about it. Trump has said even before he was president that he would push on having a war with Iran. He said he was going to end wars already. Like, I feel like with that, he's definitely delivered on it. Now, you can make the argument that, like, he didn't say these certain things about China, etc., but I would say that in a lot of cases, he's actually been relatively, I think he's been relatively globalist. I mean, not entirely, and much less than, like, somebody like Obama, for example, but he's been relatively globalist for a very long time.
Voting records in Congress defending the First Amendment, Second Amendment, unborn babies, because I believe God creates life at conception.
That's nice.
And I love to fight for the little guy. Strong, safe borders. I have fought hard for that.
Yep.
I fought against COVID tyrannical insanity and mandated mass vaccinations. And I've never voted to fund foreign wars with your hard-earned tax dollars. However, with almost 1 year into our majority, the legislature has been mostly sidelined. We endured an 8-week shutdown wrongly, resulting in the House not working for the entire time. And we are entering campaign season, which means all courage leaves and only safe campaign re-election mode is turned on in the House of Representatives.
Sure.
During the longest shutdown in our nation's history, I raged against my own speaker and my own party for refusing to proactively work diligently to pass a plan to save Americans' health care and protect Americans from outrageous, overpriced, and unaffordable health insurance policies.
It's fucking ridiculous. Brother, Israel is considered the only bastion of the West and Middle East. I wouldn't say globalist if they think of it as an extension of the West. Why the fuck do we need a bastion in the Middle East? Let them do whatever the fuck they want. It's not our problem. Who the fuck decided that we need to be meddling and micromanaging all these people in the Middle East? I don't want to micromanage Iran. We can bomb if they're going to make a nuke. Yeah, sure. But other than that, fuck them. I don't want to micromanage Saudi Arabians and fucking Iranians and Palestinians. And you're like, what are we doing? What a waste of money and time. Anyway, that's what my opinion is, okay? My other opinion about healthcare is true. Yeah, it's awful. Healthcare is fucking terrible. And it's going to get worse.
The House should have been in session working every day to fix this disaster. But instead, America was force-fed disgusting political drama once again from both sides of the aisle on television every single day.
Absolutely.
My bills, which reflect many of President Trump's executive orders, like calling for a new census counting Americans only to draw a new district.
Based, by the way. Imagine being against only counting citizens. If you're against that, you're not an American. If you're against that, you should be deported. Get them out.
Making English the official language of the U.S.
Which happened.
Making it a felony to medically trans a minor, and other bills like
I'm gonna be honest, like that's 100% alignment for me. Like I am a 100% on that. Every single one of those. Absolutely.
Eliminating capital gains taxes on the sale of your primary home and eliminating H-1B visas. Just sit. They all sit collecting dust.
I don't think you should eliminate all H-1B visas. I think that's too broad of a brush, but I think you should probably eliminate the majority of them. Like if an H-1B visa is being found is found to just simply being undercutting workers in America, then that's a problem. If it's actually bringing in a person that we have a labor shortage for, then that's more reasonable. I think you should have a little bit more of a measured approach on the H-1B visa thing. That's my opinion, personally. Like, I agree in principle, but not necessarily in practice categorically.
That's how it is for most members of Congress bills. The Speaker never brings them to the floor for a vote. Many common Americans are no longer easily convinced by paid political propaganda spokespersons and consultants on TV and paid shills on social media obediently serving with cult-like conviction to force others to swallow the political party talking points.
People have been, and I think this is the reason why Trump and, what's his name, Zoran Mandami won, is that voting for those guys was a big fuck you. It's not about, oh, wow, so we're going to get this rapper that lived with his mom and he never had a job and he's going to run the state or the city. Okay. Why? Because fuck you, that's why. Yeah, we're going to get this orange buffoon that he's going to say he's going to build a wall everywhere and he's going to end all the wars. And, this reality TV star, we're going to have him be the president now. Why? Because fuck you, that's why. Yeah. If you are not willing to do that, you will never achieve your goals. Because the people that are running things need to be terrified of their constituents. They need to be afraid to betray them. And right now, the constituents are afraid to betray the politicians. What a disgusting inversion. Should have never happened.
Because they know how much credit card debt they have.
I'm not talking about killing them or anything like that. I'm talking about the voters holding them accountable for making bad decisions.
They know how much their bills have gone up over the past 5 years.
It's so obvious.
They actually do their own grocery shopping and no food costs too much. Their rent has increasingly gone up and up. They have been outbid by corporate asset managers too many times when they put in an offer to buy a house.
The fact that corporate businesses can own these residential homes, and this has been an exploit that's been going on for like a decade now, is a disgrace. It is an absolute disgrace to the entire fucking, to the entire country. This should have been immediately shut down 10 years ago. That's why lobbying should be shut down. You're always going to have money. I agree with you, but you're always going to have money find a way. MTG has construction interests. Yeah, well, she could be biased, but she's still right. Like, maybe she's doing this for money, but like she's still right with what she's saying. It's still accurate what she's saying.
They have been laid off after being forced to train their visa holding replacement. The college degree they were told to earn only left them in debt with no big six-figure salary. They see more homeless people than ever on their own community streets. They can't afford health insurance or practically any insurance, and they just aren't stupid. These are the people I represent and love because that is who all of my family and friends are.
Absolutely.
Common Americans. I've been blessed to represent the 14th District of Georgia for 5 years. The district is filled with some of the most wonderful, kind-hearted, God-fearing, patriotic, hardworking people you will ever meet. Good, regular, common Americans. I've worked hard to bring taxpayer dollars back home to help district needs. I impeached Biden's Secretary of Homeland after watching my constituents die as he facilitated dangerous open border invasion into America. And I led the effort to defund hard-left politically biased NPR and PBS and the corrupt USAID, and I did that as
absolutely fucking unfathomably based. Completely defund them. They're worthless garbage that's been turned partisan. I would completely get rid of these people. Absolutely.
Chair of the DOJ subcommittee. I have fought harder than almost any other elected Republican to elect Donald Trump and Republicans to power. I traveled the country for years. I spent millions of my own money. I missed precious time with my family that I can never get back. And I showed up in places like outside the New York courthouse in Collect Pond Park against a raging leftist mob as Trump faced Democrat law.